hello, chat. Welcome to the round table. I'm your host.
This table doesn't look round.
Well, okay, the square table. My host. My name is Crossdress Renren Amamiya, and
You
on
said
my
it so I wouldn't.
and on my left and right are people that have played the game that I played finished 2 days ago. People on my left and right, introduce yourselves. I don't care who starts. I will slit your throat if someone doesn't say something. I knew this is exactly what you were gonna do.
You on the left, go first.
Hello. If you know Ren, you probably know me because I do things with Ren semi-frequently. My name is Noti Pop, and I do content. I'd say sometimes, but I stream like 3 times a week. What the fuck's wrong with it?
Yeah, and you and me will be together again tomorrow.
Yeah, so yeah, for longer than we are today.
Alright, other person, introduce yourself.
K-Main, metaphor is peak. I agreed to do this. This is gonna be an experience.
You know what? You were the one that said, "Hey, we should do this." So I just set everything up. You were just like, "Hey, we should do this." I was like, "You know what? Sure." I finished the game, and then I just kind of DM'd Node like 4 hours ago and be like, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Do you want to join?" And he said, "Sure." So that's why we have 3 blue Yetis in front of us, and here we talk about the game.
Yeah.
That we do.
Like I said, I told them, I don't have a structure for this. I was just like, we're just gonna. I put down some bullet points. I know I will forget some, and then after we finish, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I forgot to say that. I wrote down some beautiful notes. Maybe to just jog my memory. That I'm actually going to send to y'all, just so I don't know, you can see what I have written down.
We have a structure.
No, but I wanted to have some go piece by piece, like, hey, we should do this and this and this and stuff like that. Anyway, I guess we should open up.
That the structure is merely a metaphor for something.
That's true.
Metaphor
Speaking of
for
dude,
fiction and and waiting and Katsura Hashino
Listen,
and
dude, I can't think of the word metaphor normally anymore. Anytime someone says metaphor, like in a video or like in class, my brain like perks up. It's like when anytime someone says like, I don't know, like persona, it's just like, or hope or despair. Anytime someone says like that,
Activation.
yeah, neuron. Anytime someone says metaphor, and I go, it's like the Refantasio. It's like the game.
your brain rot still can't match how bad mine has gotten. I can't thumbs up without going, oh my god, it's an epic reference to that Japanese drama I watched 50 episodes of.
That's crazy. That's wild. Anyways, Metaphor Refantasio chat. How? I guess to warm up, how did you learn about Metaphor Refantasio? What compelled you to want to buy the game?
Okay, so Atlas announced a game called Project Refantasy in the year of our Lord 2016, which is before everyone watching this stream was born. If you don't remember 2016, it was really, really bad. It was a meme about how bad that year was, which should have been an omen for this game, but somehow it wasn't. This game was actually good. I don't know how that happened.
How they did it.
So it was announced as the next game by Studio Zero, the people who made Catherine and Persona 5 and nothing else, because they were a recent studio that took about like 6 years each to make 2 games. And then Yoko Taro was announced to be involved somehow. Turned out that was purely for marketing purposes. And then we got nothing about the game for like 6 years, and then it got shadow announced at a fucking Xbox Direct and came out a year later.
To great, riveting reviews.
And to think, this game doesn't even let you press R2 to hold hands. That's the only reason it's good.
I haven't played Eternites, but you're right.
It is so bad. It is. That's a separate topic.
Yeah, actually, I have some things to say about that game because I was following it for a while hilariously.
I also low-key was, and then I kind of like, I don't know. I guess I just stopped.
We can talk about that later.
That's its own roundtable discussion. I need to play the game first.
Please, I need to talk to more people about Eternites, but I don't really remember how I found out about Metaphor ReFantasio. It just kind of popped up on the Atlas Twitter frequently enough, and I got the demo like the day semester started. I went through the demo in like 2 nights. I bought the game, and then I didn't play it for about a month and a half.
Wild. How did I think I was just
Life.
like, you know what? JRPG, Atlas. I've already bought your other 2 games you released, SMT 5 and Persona 3, and I was like, you know what, Atlas? Sure, you can have my money. I played a bit. I'm pretty sure I've just played a bit of the demo. Said, yeah, it's an Atlas game. I'll buy it. And so I bought the $100 version digitally, which kind of hurt me because I like my games physically. And if I had a PS5 at the moment, I probably would have bought the physical deluxe edition, but I didn't. And then, you know, I played the game a bit, and then kind of stopped because I have to be in this mood to play our JRPG. I can't just like do it for like an hour or two and be fine. I'm like, no, I need to be able to sit down and play it. So over the course of, I don't know, whenever the game came out to 2 days ago, it took me a while to beat it, but I'm glad I did.
I'm just the freak that was like, I was like a lot of Atlas fans on Twitter, which we might talk about this a bit, but people were a little bit doom posting about this game. I think people were just in a really negative mood because the answer came out and people thought it was bad because it was Reload, and really it was bad because it was the answer.
When did Metaphor come out again?
Like a month after the answer for Reload.
So like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like November, October, November, or something.
It was like October 20th, I think.
I knew it was sometime because I knew I was like ready for it.
But yeah, sort of as a result of like that big fan negativity towards Metaphor, a lot of my hype for the game had died down, along with the fact that I'd just been waiting for this since before my brain had finished cooking. So, and especially after I was kind of burned by SMT5 really not living up to expectations, I wasn't in a rush to play this, but I played the demo and I really liked it. So I bought the game and I beat it within 2 weeks, and it was really, really good.
Oh hell yeah! What do you remember? What your runtime was when you finished it?
It was a bit over 60 hours.
Okay, I mean, what was yours? If you remember.
I don't know, like 90 probably? 80,
I just
90
wanna
if
judge,
we're
I think
including the
mine's-
various game overs.
I think I ended mine's on around like 88 hours, which I was shocked. I was like, damn, I did not realize I played this game this much. So, you know.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks up on you, but those, I don't know, I feel like going from 60 to 80 hours is kind of a slog, though.
I never really felt the game as a slog, you know.
Yeah, no, I think this game, like, pacing wise, is so much better than every other game that uses the calendar system, because I feel like every game with the calendar system could have had like about 3 months shaved off, and it would be exactly the same, if not better. And that's pretty much what Metaphor is.
Yeah, it's like, dude, when I looked up, like, I tried not to, I looked up, like, guides, but, like, I didn't want to, like, accidentally, like, spoil stuff for me, but, like, seeing that, like, I was like, oh, the game doesn't go into the new year, like, the months are really short. Am I gonna be able to do anything? I was, so.
Yeah, I mean, I had every single they're not called confidants, they're not called social links.
I think they're called bonds. I call them followers. That's what they're called. They're called followers. I call
Followers,
them
yeah.
I call them the
I was
depth of
able to max
boots.
every single follower and do all the extra stuff with like 10 days left. So yeah, the timing on this game actually feels pretty good. I think the problem comes a little more in the pacing, but if we want to go chronologically, it's not until like late game, so we can save it till then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should. We should get into the start of the game, which I don't remember that much. Well, in terms of, I know more. I remember more about the late game than I do early game. But like, listen. Oh, I'm gonna start this off because I have it in the notes. A person got hung. This game's rated T for teen, which as I increasingly played the game, I'm like, how is this game rated T for teens?
This is actually an experiment that I conducted while, because I streamed the demo, or at least like the first bit of this game where the demo was, when it came out with Ren, and we just kept having the discussion of like, why is this rated T? Which led to a brief deep dive over all of the ESRB ratings for Megaten, and we came to the conclusion. I swear to God, this isn't a meme. I'm almost certain this is the truth. The only reason why Persona 3, 4, and 5 and all of the modern SMT games are rated M is because Mara is in them.
Yeah, because the ESRB rating for Metaphor doesn't have sexual or themes in it, but all the other like Persona games do. And it's like, yeah, I think the penis.
And they all, if you look at the advanced ESRB descriptions, they all allude to Mara specifically.
Yeah,
which is really funny.
Hear me out. Could we have gotten them kicked back down to teen if we followed the way of, I think it's what Persona 5X did, and gave Mara a funny hat?
Well, that was China.
They should just do that regardless.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Now
that
I should have looked more into it because Nocturne, if I remember correctly, doesn't have like traditional Mara. It has
Slime Mara.
Yeah, it has like, well, that's where Slime Mara came from, because the whole bit is that it's a part of a side quest where they're trying to summon Mara, and the summon gets interrupted. So he just comes up, he's a little goop. He's not fully erect. He's very flaccid. Although I guess Nocturne has a lot of other things that could kick it up to an M rating, and I guess ESRB also was like, this is a remaster of an M-rated game. We don't want to kick it back down.
Yeah, it came back down. Then we go like, what did they change to make it T?
They added voices.
Yeah. Anyway, so going into, I'm gonna try my best to remember exact points. Anyways, well, you know what? This is spoilers. I just already knew Grius was not gonna survive. I only knew that because he doesn't have DLC outfits, and I went, you're dying because you don't have DLC outfits.
So I mean, he's also got about 15 different death flags.
Yep. He has a wife and kids.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Classic Fire Emblem. I should just know. Oh, you have a family? Oh yeah, you're dead, bro.
I didn't realize that him and Fabienne were married until like super late.
Which is so funny when you showed your tier list. It's like, I didn't know they were married.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, spoilers. The guy that's gonna die dies.
Holy
yeah,
shit,
spoilers.
It's in the title.
The guy
with
death
flags dead.
I'm sorry, just the guy that isn't in really much promotional material, and then also just doesn't have DLC outfits. I'm like, oh yeah, you're gone.
They should have given him DLC outfits, but only of like the temporary party members from Persona games. Like, you should have had Shinji's outfit as an option. Should have had like Ketchy.
You know what? That would have been absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I kept forgetting that he existed. Because like going through the game, I'm like, oh, when are we going to get a rogue party member? It's like, oh right, we had one. He died. That's like one of our primary character motivations at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that we must avenge this little child's father.
Yeah, but I think the reason I didn't get that him and Fabienne were married, although it might have been mentioned, was the fact that Maria is also part Ishika, which heavily implies that she's from a separate marriage. So Maria actually gets to lose her parents on 2 separate occasions, making her more qualified to wield the Fire Emblem than any Fire Emblem character to exist. Because the average one only loses 1 parent.
God. Speaking of
Well,
parents,
luckily, Will becomes the dad that stepped up, so it's fine.
that is true. Not just the dad that
Yeah,
stepped
but
up.
he can't be a stepdad because there's no romance in the game, and it turns out that's all you need to make a good story in an Atlas game.
True!
True, Truth Nuke dropped. Listen, I love myself. Listen, as the biggest Persona 5 shill in the world, I was like, I guess I keep flip flopping. As I kept playing the game later, I'm like, damn, this game is better than Persona 5. Oh God, this is giving me more of a reaction than P5 has. Just what happens, the story. Ooh man. Anyways, humans, man.
Yeah, if we're making direct comparisons, I think that Persona 5 still has the best hook I've personally experienced in any video game. Spoilers, but the girl jumping off the roof is a little more emotionally eliciting for me than watching the guy with death flags get his throat slit.
Listen.
I agree, but also I think Metaphor has a lot more hooks before that point, because both of those happened like 5 hours into their respective games.
Yeah, but
Metaphor, it's a lot. You get into the action like pretty dang early.
Yeah, like the defining early game moment, if I were to show it to someone, I think P5 has a better job, but maybe that's just because I started playing the game right before I went on a vacation for a weekend. So the last thing I saw was Shiho just
P5.
throwing herself off a building. And I had to think about that for 3 days before I could do the first dungeon on my 480p PS3 because I was still using AV cables.
Damn, I'm joking. Anyways, Grievous dies, and then oh god, hold on.
I mean,
and it's revealed that his whole purpose as a character is to show off the fact that whoever's the most popular has invincibility, and therefore we can't just go kill them right away. Literal plot armor.
Like, yeah, legitimate plot armor, just he can't die, bro.
He made the mistake of not trying to kill Louise like 5 minutes earlier.
For real.
Like, he still would have died, but at least it wouldn't have, like, been stuck in the air. Or he just gets, like, crushed by a rock.
Listen, I'm surprised. Listen, with death shown in this game, I'm shocked they do show it. I guess we'll get, like... You know, I think the real hook, the real what made me go, oh, this is a different game, was a little bit later in oh my god, what's the second town's name called?
What
is it called?
Which
May Town?
Talking about the one with the light body horror, or where?
Okay, yeah, this game's a horror game. Sorry, this game is a horror game. I'm convinced Metaphor is a secret so like I need the third type like tertiary genre for Metaphor is horror game, because that fucking baby, bro, this is a fucking horror game.
This game is the real sequel to Catherine.
Dude, the human designs, which took me a while to get used to saying, okay, humans are the bad enemies. They're not us, like individuals. So from throughout the game, I was thinking, what do they call like themselves? Like, do they like? We would say
fellas.
Like, I guess. God, I do find it. Just thinking of the tribes, it's like, yeah, the thing that's that white people don't like our tribe is because we're normal and just have normal I don't know, bodies. I guess being elder just means you're normal pilled or something. Like,
I was waiting for the reveal that all of the Eldin were secretly isekai'd from the real world.
They're actually just Japanese, and that gives. I'm not gonna finish that train of thought. That's gonna go the wrong way. Yeah, no, they're actually just from like Shinjuku or something, if I
Let's
remember correctly.
listen, live jump scare. God, again, we're just going all over the place, but I said spoilers. So live jump scare of just yeah, Tokyo. We're just in Tokyo now. It's like Atlas always has to relate it back to Tokyo or something.
I'm gonna
It's
be
been
real. I predicted them pulling some shit like this from frame
Dude,
zero,
I fucking
but
dude. Okay,
damn, it was cool.
dude. Okay, I'm sorry, dude. I just like playing this game on my little all-nighter. I was like, when he fucking pulled this shit, I'm like, this is fucking Danganronpa V3, bro. Fucking, your world is a fantasy. Everything is fiction. Like, okay, like, thanks more.
This is V3, but it's also fucking Kingdom Hearts 4, where there's a fucking parallel universe that's just normal ass Tokyo.
Just- listen, I
Yeah.
was not expecting just Tokyo jump scare. Of like, oh shit, I guess like the fucking academia just falls apart. It's like, yeah, you're just Tokyo. Yeah, you're just a novel, bro. You're not real and all that shit.
But then you say you are real, and
You go,
Then
no, I
just,
must
like-
fight back. I must go back to my friends.
he's just like,
The real,
no, okay.
the real metaphor ReFantasia was the fact that we didn't want to exchange currency at the window.
We didn't want to see how much the yen has deteriorated in value compared to whatever the fuck the currency is in this game.
It's just called money. Well, I know it's money, but I don't
Is
know
it just
the name.
money?
I don't know what the name of it is, but I know it's just like money. Well, that's what the game's called. So let me look up that metaphor.
Yeah.
Money.
Reeve.
Oh yeah, Reeve. That's what it's called. Reeve. God, I'm low-key random gameplay thing. I'm kind of sad there isn't a way to turn money into whatever what is it called, that the thing you use for your archetypes? I keep calling it. It's called. Is it called Magla? Is that what?
It's
heroes.
Magla, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I wish there was a way to turn money into that, because I'm like, dude, I have like over $1 million, but like I need a little stuff so I can inherit skills and shit.
Yeah.
I guess talking about taking a detour to gameplay. How do y'all like your Persona system?
Better. It's really not it's a job system, let's
Yeah,
be real.
it is.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan, actually. It's just too wide open. That and the royal archetypes in the last month of the game are just a really fun jump scare.
Which I
All
was
your
not
rank
ready
8s
for, because I didn't put, other than I think I only got 2 people into the
Yeah.
royal archetypes, but that's because
Yeah.
but that's because they were like oh my god, Juna and fucking, what's the girl that her name starts with an E? I literally forget.
Yufa.
Yufa. I literally
Yeah,
forget how to say her
um,
name. Juna and Yufa are the
yeah.
only one I put into royal archetypes, because everyone else I didn't put them in their designated class. Like I changed it, so I didn't unlock the royal archetype because I didn't go through their little skill tree. So
Yeah, you wanted to put Heisme into cleric. Congratulations. You are locked out of the best dodge tank in the game that says nope, never mind, fuck you to the final boss. Which would have been really useful, especially if you're going for the Star Destroyer achievement.
to which I didn't, because I was like, I don't think I would be doing achievement for this game. I broke down all the crystals, but being a final
Yeah.
boss, I see, this is why there's no structure, because I'm like, will just say stuff that's on the mind. I did not realize until after I finished the game and started watching challenge run videos of Metaphor that there was a damage like reduction based on your level. I think I told the both of y'all that I genuinely, if I didn't like stay up all night trying to beat the game, I probably would have went back and grinded, but I was like, I want to finish this game and now. So I just changed it to storyteller mode because I didn't realize there was a damage fall off, and I was damn near like 15 levels under Luis. So I was like, I don't think I'm beating this game on easy mode. So I'm just gonna go on bitch mode and finish the game. So
Yeah, I didn't have this issue. I
know y'all probably. Here's because I'm like, I thought it was pretty good with levels so far until like the final dungeon, and it was like, I'm hella underleveled. Where did this underlevel come from? Like I thought, like I
Yeah,
was doing quests. Maybe I wasn't running. Maybe I wasn't doing enough like random encounters. But it's like I was doing quests and stuff for the most part.
I did everything, and I only started really skipping encounters at the end. But I mean, I went from like at level to probably, I don't know. I feel like I was consistently 3 levels plus behind from even the
Yeah, same here.
first fight against Zorba. Where it's just like, yeah, sure. The game just never really punished me for it that much.
I think that's what it is. The game never really. I never felt like I was like I needed to grind until like the final area, which I realized I really am underleveled. Because like most enemies in the overworld were like in the red, and I was like, fuck. But like I think I could have beat them, but I think it's if I
Premium play metaphor.
if I didn't want to like stress myself to be like beat this game now, I probably could have gone back and actually been at a better level. But I was like, ooh, I am. But the mini bosses for like the human mini bosses you do to destroy the crystals weren't too tough. So I was like, so I felt
Yeah.
fine for going up against these. So I was like, these aren't that hard. They're a little time consuming, but they're not that hard, especially since I
No, I
don't know.
I think in a way pretty similar to Persona, this game is beaten in the planning phase with like party composition and good builds rather than like strict grinding and a level advantage.
Right.
Sure, if you
I mean that's just all of Mega 10, which is honest. It's something I love about the series. The fact that
Yeah.
it's so much more based around strategizing than stuff like that. But yeah, I mean the damage cap. SMT5 had a similar thing, which was just really annoying.
Well, yeah, vanilla SMT5. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Vengeance
think-
got rid of
I
it because
think-
they saw the criticism.
Hold on, let me see. Let me look at what it. Because let me look at the damage thing. Because let me see if I can find it on. Someone posted it on Steam. I don't need. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, no. Then I was at a damn near like 7% or like 70% like damage. Not reduction, but like I was taking more damage than giving because of my level discrepancy, which I did not realize. But I don't think it's as bad as SMT5. But yeah, no, because I felt like I felt like I felt like I could have done Luis like his first phase like at what I was, but I was like I'm just not doing enough damage. I'm not surviving. Because I felt as soon as I fell behind on like my buffs and status ailments, I was like I'm fucked. I'm just gonna reset. Yeah, let's see. What we got? Anyways, when you want, I guess we're kind of talking the story. Let's talk about characters. Chat, what are your thoughts on the characters of Metaphor as a whole? And then you can get into individual characters.
Yeah, I think there is hardly a bad character in Metaphor. Like, I don't think there's a character I disliked that I wasn't supposed to dislike.
Right.
Yeah, no, like, what? Yeah, no, everyone for me, I put at least a B tier. And then everything else is either a meme or rival candidate, or I wanted to murder them, but I didn't get the option.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, to me, I mean, to me, I don't think I had anyone that was like actively like, ugh, like, you know. I think everyone was about interesting. I mean, there was characters I felt more attached to because I used them more, but it was especially for the main cast. I was like, I don't have a problem with any of them. Like the main, like, how many party members? Like 7 or 8, I forget. Like,
Yeah, I think it's 7,
Yeah,
including
like the main.
well, it's 8 including Gallica, I think.
Well, yeah. So then 8. The main 8. I'm like, you know what? I didn't really use all y'all like late game, but I'm like, y'all were all neat. I enjoyed y'all. I enjoyed your presence. I'm sorry I kind of didn't lock into your final dap up events because I was trying to rush and beat the game. So that's all me. But other than that, I like this cast. You know, you know what, Luis? You know, he's a character. You know, I don't hate him in the sense that I hate like other characters like fucking Akechi, but like I'm like, you know what? You're a bad guy, but low key, hard as fuck, hard as fuck, bro. Fucking listen, when he came from under that mask, or that hood, that shit was hard. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty fire scene. Damn, I do need more water. Yeah, but no, I like the characters for the most part. I think they're very very cool. Juna is it's top tier wife would marry material on God.
Honestly, I felt like she was one of the less interesting characters personally. Even though I'd say she's the first one we get to, like, in the party really see be thrown into the trauma blender. With the exception of Basilio. Also, hot take, Basilio should have been the one to die, not Fidelio. I think he was...
I
Basilio
think I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
I think Fidelio just having to go through more of a... Because obviously, I mean, he's the more outwardly asshole-ish of the brothers. Him having to, like, you know, him going through a full character arc would have been neat. However, I mean, that's what I was expecting. So, I mean, they subverted it with it being Basilio who lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me kind of sad. I just also don't necessarily vibe with, like, more meathead type characters, which is being pretty reductionist of Basilio. I think his link's good. I think his follower chain is good.
I like his funny voice.
Yeah, he's got a funny voice, but
He's just a friend.
Yeah, no, he's got good vibes. Everyone in the main cast has good vibes. It's just, I don't know. I think Fidelio just had a lot more going for him, especially with, like, everything they built him up on during the Virga Island arc.
Yes.
Which, I don't know. I guess I hadn't given consideration to the arcs, but it's possible that, like, throughout, that might be the high point of the game.
You know,
It's...
For a lot of people it is, because I know a lot of people really like Yufa. I'm not, like, as high on her, although I still think she's a really good character.
shit, when they did the little art, the little like polls, I also wasn't expecting her to be like at the top. I was like, oh, I was shocked. Like, not to, because I like her, I love her, but I was shocked other people also liked her or put her like that high. I forgot what the rankings were. I could look them up.
Yeah, they were different depending on the region as well.
Yufa's
So.
number one.
Oh, excuse me. Let me see. Let me look up USA. How do I put USA? I'm just put the West. All right, you
Yeah.
know, for character ranking. Rankings.
Wait, there was a metaphor exhibit in Tokyo, and I did. Son of a bitch.
Damn.
Okay, so I got...
Oh, what's up? He had it for a moment.
Okay, I got the Japanese results in, so I'm not entirely sure which is each region. So, but I can at least tell you in Japan,
All right.
Stroll won, followed by Louise, who we'll get to later, then Will, then Basilio, then Yufa. Those
Really?
were our
Will
top
that
5.
high?
Hey,
No. Not
okay,
to-
I'll talk briefly. Can I talk briefly about Will?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
no. I don't got no problem with him with Will. I'm just shocked because a protagonist being high. But go on.
Well, firstly, protagonists always rank highly on character popularity pools for reasons that are beyond human comprehension. Joker is like always in the top 3 most popular Persona 5 characters,
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
despite the fact that he doesn't have more than like 3 spoken lines in the entire game. But Will,
I mean,
I'm
everyone is literally Joker Persona 5.
That is
that's
true.
true, actually.
Of course they vote for themselves.
Will, however, I would say is, at least out of like the Hashino calendar games, my favorite protagonist. Like I usually like him more than the modern Persona protagonists. I like him more than pretty much any Silent Atlas protag, and I like him more than some of the speaking ones. Looks angrily at Ringo.
That's.
But no, I really like Will. Because he's a simple character, but he's also got enough of his own personal story, which was something I really like about Makoto and Katone from P3. They're more than just a self-insert. They have their own role in this world. They're not just a vessel for the player to throw themselves into.
True.
The other thing I like about Will is that when you pick a dialogue option, he just says it out loud.
That is so nice.
It's such a simple,
can we get that for
small
P6,
change that goes a long way.
Can we please get that for P6? Like, it is so nice hearing the voice, the option I picked actually be said. So it actually feels like you said it to a character, and the character is actually responding back to you. That is so nice. Like,
and again, just having the voice performance as well just allows the protagonist to, feel a lot more like a real character, which I think is what they wanted to do with Will.
That's a good medium. If you don't want to do a voice protagonist like Ringo, you can just do that. Just anytime they speak, they actually say it out loud. I'm like, oh my god, like Will can actually, like when I do a humorous answer, Will actually add humor into the answer. It's great. I love it. That's good. Do more of that, Atlas, please. Like I say, you don't have to go pure like voice dialogue, but like just make them say words. I like Will.
You can have a real likable protagonist without having to like make them one of the most intricate characters in your story. You can do it. And
low-key, Stroll sometimes feels like the protagonist of the story. Like,
he falls into the same spot as a lot of the basically every Hashino game has one character that is the protagonist's mouthpiece in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like in P3, it's usually like Mitsuru, although I think that game probably does the best job at balancing it out.
Yeah.
P4, it's Yosuke. P5, it's
Morgana. Makoto. I'd say.
And Makoto, yeah.
Yeah. Also, if I can barge in,
I guess we'll break down characters now. Go
on.
Stroll is, to touch on Will, yeah, I'd agree with pretty much everything that's said. But I think Stroll is unabashedly like far and away the best bro character they've ever made in like main series Atlas games. When it comes to like 3, 4, 5 and Metaphor, I think he's the only one where I don't think there's a single moment where I wanted to like tear his head off, which was extremely refreshing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. He'd be topped by Yosuke if Atlas didn't cower it out and make it so tearing his head off would be homophobic, but they did cower it out, so yeah.
Yosuke, Ren, have you played? You've played through Persona 4, right?
I've played through all the modern P.
Okay, yeah. His breakdown where he wants to shove Namatame into the TV is, in my opinion, about the single easiest moment to character assassinate in the entire series, which kind of sucks because I liked Yosuke up until he suggested, yeah, let's murder. Bar the extreme homophobia and all the other stuff that P4 has wrong with it. Ryuji just there's personal stuff there, and then Junpei, I think he's the second best, but he's got some pretty rough edges at the start, no matter how good his mark is.
Dickhead to the protagonist.
Yeah,
I do. It's weird to say that I like Junpei's sexism, but I do.
No, it's
like that he's
sexism.
that is true, actually. I like that he's more rude to Katone than he is to Makoto. I think that's like a really interesting character idea that is fairly consistent with his character, because he's already got like an inferiority complex now.
Yeah.
It's a girl who's telling me what to do. What?
Girl.
He eventually gets over himself and has one of the best. I think one of the best like relationships in I mean, if not the game, the series. Honestly, I really like his
Yeah.
cute little thing with.
To be fair, what are the other options? Nobody really has a relationship in the Persona series that's like strictly canon, other
Yeah,
than
that's
whatever boy
okay.
or girl you.
There's one canon relationship, and that is Chihiro Fushimi canonically dated the protagonist. This is my favorite piece of Persona lore. When you see Chihiro in P4, she has very clearly gone through her character development, and because you can't reject people in P3,
Yeah,
it's canon. It has to be.
I love a treasure who gets accused of fraud. She's honestly on God my number 2. No, she's my number 3. Fuka's moved way up, but Troll, yeah, sure he feels like the main character at times. That's probably just because he's, you know, the mouthpiece for the protagonist.
He is the mouthpiece for the protagonist, which I'm like, like
you said.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. It's just sometimes I'm like, oh, Stroll is taking over. Like, Stroll is the man that like comes up with shit.
During the early part of Alta Bury Heights, during sort of like the narrative climax, the first narrative climax of the game, it's extremely obvious that it's just like, oh, Stroll's the main character, but seeing as he was the victim,
Obviously, yeah, he was
that
the
Talia
victim
was the victim of the first human attack, which was directly instigated by Luis. He's got the strongest motivations out of anyone in the cast, and that includes your Isekai OC sword-wielding floaty guy that is Will ReFantasio.
I will. I will.
I will. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Stroll's a boy. Stroll. I. See, I'm a simple guy. I'm like, do I like you? Do I dislike you? And then it's like, yeah, I do. I think he's cool. You know. I don't know. I don't know if he would be. I don't think he's my favorite like dude bro out of the. I'll have to let this sink in a little bit. But I enjoyed him a lot. I guess before
before we continue, I should say I got the I have the full thing for the other countries if you want to know.
What's up?
I guess I'll also just go over Europe and USA because that's obviously the most important to us. They come up, so just the West as a whole.
Right.
UFA 1. UFA 1.
Which is what shocked me. Which is what shocked. I don't know why. I thought someone like Luis or like Stroll would be number 1. I just judging.
Well, Stroll's number 2.
Okay, well, judging. Okay, I mainly say Luis because judging like people like Adachi and Akechi, mainly Akechi, so much. I'm like, okay, the bad guy, girl boss guy is gonna, whatever, be. But you've shocked me. But Stroll number 2. All right, who's what do we got?
Number 3 is really surprising, and considering the fact, actually he made top 3 in Southeast Asia as well. So I'm gonna attribute him making it this high specifically in those two to his English voice performance. Heisme.
Yeah.
Good voice acting. Good voice acting.
We'll get to Heisme after Hulkenberg, of course, but.
Do we want to take a second just so that we don't have to go into it on character by character, discussing the voice direction in the game?
Sure.
I mean,
I
was good.
I like the voice. Yeah, it was good. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so
for the most part, it was pretty good.
It was so good. Again, it's so funny. It's like, other than Greg Chun, I don't know any other voice actor. English I only know English. I don't know any other voice actor, like someone that can point out and be like, that's you. But you know what? I think that made the game better because so anytime I go to I was supposed to say Velvet Room, anytime I go to the Academia and see more, all I think of is Date from Somnium Files. So that's just funny. It's like, dude, that's all I can hear from you. But every other voice, I'm like, I don't know who you are, so you are this character.
Yeah, it's nice being able to like play an anime game and not hear the same 3 voice actors constantly. I appreciate that because It's not much. It's a stupid criticism, but it does take you out of it.
It
after
does,
You've
it
heard Yuri
does.
Lowenthal say something for the 20th
Yeah,
time
yeah,
this
it does
week.
take-
What? I mean, I think that's more a problem of when they cast voice actors with like very generally limited ranges.
Yes.
Like, if I don't take a problem if it's like Laura Bailey in the 5th game because she generally pulls a
She
different
pulls different
performance.
voices, but like
If you compare like earlier iterations of World of Warcraft's Jaina and Rize from Persona 4, like you don't tell that's the same character. But and I feel bad about doing this. Every time I hear Xanth, it's just like, oh, that's Haru. Just immediately.
yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I just say yeah. It's like yeah, I agree. That and there's another person where I'm like, there is like, there are a couple people where I'm like, I hear you and I'm like, yeah, you're immediately this character. And most of the time it's Persona. So if I hear a voice actor that's from Persona, that's what I'm gonna immediately think of, and it does take you out of it sometimes. I'm still gonna respect the performance of this character, but in the back of my mind, I will say every time I hear this character speak, going, "Oh, that's just on," or like, "Oh, that's just Yosuke," like thing. Not to knock it, but like again, it was refreshing to hear people I don't know and go, "I like your funny accent. It's very nice."
yeah.
I do love the voice acting. I think it is very very good. And as someone that's like, ugh, I don't like old-timey speeches or like just fucking Shakespearean type shit. I like the voice acting.
Hate Haunted Octopath Traveler.
Well, good thing that will never happen. Anyways, joke.
That's the quota.
All right. Well, before we get distracted again, I'll quickly run down the rest of the American rankings.
Right.
Number 4 is the only one with a tie across all of the regions, and my game theory is because Will is at number 10, and if this wasn't a tie, he'd get pushed to number 11. And that would be the only region where Will wasn't in the top 10, so I think they just refused to let it happen. But number 4 is a tie between Luis and Basilio. Number 5 is Hulkenberg. Number 6 is Gallica. Number 7 is Juna. Number 8 is it's in Japanese. I kind of forget her.
You got this.
Brigitte.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. What,
9 is Fidelio, and the 10 as well.
tied, yeah. I guess I haven't been on Metaphor Twitter. I don't know what the popular thoughts are on characters.
I mean, this feels pretty accurate. People love themselves some Heisman. People love themselves some movies.
But I follow, some people who draw Yufa occasionally. So
Yeah, you've sent me it, and I'm like, that's neat. I like that. I guess before we get to
Hulkenberg.
let's do Galaga.
Let's talk about Hulkenberg.
I would say let's do Galaga before. I guess we probably should have did that with.
Yeah, that's true. We should have talked about Gallica. I mean, there's not a ton to say for Gallica, is the thing.
That's true. Genuinely, I thought she would become a party member at one point because she's in the equipment screen, and I'm like, she's in the equipment and party screen. It's like, are you gonna join us? No, you're just gonna have your own little thing. All right. I mean, I guess you.
Nah, she's this game's navigator equivalent.
Yeah, I know. Which I do find,
And
I do love that she has her own little equipment though. It's so cute.
Yeah.
I wish you could change it.
She's the best. She's the best companion character as well.
Oh
sure.
yeah.
To be fair, that bar is like 6 feet under the ground when you have Cat Bus that creates the worst arc in a modern Persona game.
I'd go as far as to say probably the worst arc in a game,
A game, just the game of all time, the worst.
Probably in fiction, if I'm being right.
Maybe fiction. I've definitely played arcs that are worse than that, I think. Again, we can talk about Eternites later. But I do love her relationship with Will. I enjoy it. I mean, maybe the closest thing there is to a canon romance if we go off the historic.
What
I don't
historic?
like the idea that Will got busy with.
Yeah, I don't
something that
want to
could
listen.
fit in his mouth.
As an expertise of actually I'm not an expert. That's Cody. Anyways, as someone that does a little digging sometimes, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. That's not
No,
possible. I don't
I'm-
want to see that. That's all I will say.
No, I'm going off like the first king was implied to be like at the very least emotionally closest to his fairy. I don't think there's necessarily like a canon romance for Will or anything, no matter how pushed Yuffie is, and that's like as I've thought about it more and that's been pointed out, it has kind of dragged her character down a bit for me, but that's neither here nor
Well,
there.
that's just that.
on-
We'll talk turd later, just so because.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gallica,
Yeah,
she's
Gallica's neat.
cool. We like her. Hulkenberg, I have very little to say about this character. Ren, go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before I started really playing the game, I mean, as you can tell, I was like, I like her. I like the strong woman. I like. So that's why she's in the football jersey. This had and I'm low key like I was like, had I waited, this probably would have been Juna. Had I waited, but no, I still enjoy. I still enjoy Hulkenberg. I like she's a little quirky. She eats quirky things. That's quirky. I like that. I don't know. Maybe I just like a woman that's strong, low key, high key, or something. I don't know. Like, again, when it comes to dissecting characters, I'm simple-minded. I'm like, yeah, I enjoy their presence. I like their being. Insert one of her battle quotes because I used her a lot. Something like that. That's all. I like her. I'm a simple guy, Motherfucker, what? Oh. Anyways, anyone else had a thought?
I'm gonna trust you on Hulkenberg. Her follower stuff feels a tad underwhelming, but otherwise, yeah, pretty
I gotta
decent.
remember this. I gotta remember. So again, the follower stuff I low key try to pay attention to, like on God. But since I did hers like so long ago, I forget it. Like I remember like recent people stuff. I also didn't really pay attention to stuff that isn't voiced, but that's just me because reading is hard. Listen, she will protect you. I like that.
I guess we could mention the fact that like the original character design revealed with
right, we
Project
did
Blue
say
Fantasy
that.
looks like the weird love child between Will and Hulkenberg.
That is true. That is very true. That is very true. Was Hulkenberg the protagonist? Question mark? Question mark? Can't wait for the I don't know, Beta 64 video on Metaphor.
My game theory is that this was actually a 12 trillion IQ play suggested by Yoko Taro, and Hulkenberg is the canon romance, and that's their child.
I mean, my friend, because I sent my friend this link. He did send me some this when I sent him the link. So I think it's pretty neat. I just sent in the DMs. Just a little novel he said he had. So. Or I guess magazine. So yeah, there's that's the love child Will and Hulkenberg was, I don't know, old prog tag. How different would a Metaphor be? It must be very funny to people that were closely following this game to like they're like they see this next and they see this fucking blue little guy.
I mean that's what happened with me when I was watching the Xbox reveal trailer. I was like, am I misremembering, or was like the person they were advertising this game initially Hulkenberg, or what?
Why does this blue guy have homophobic in his eye? Oh. Alright, well, I can see all how much Heismay's up next. I was before anything, I was so happy because on Twitter I saw the scene of them banging pots and pans, and I was like, I can't wait until I get to that scene in the game. I thought that scene was later. Nope, it was with Heisman, and I was like, I love it. I love this fucking scene so much.
I was not spoiled on that scene. I got to experience it firsthand because of how early I played the game, and it was one of the funniest things in a modern Atlas game.
Just start
It was
banging up pots.
it was
and
3
pans.
people that were at that point revealed to share 3 brain cells, banging pots and pans to get the attention of what they think is some mysterious evil child-killing monster, when really it's just this
It's a
stupid
little
little
rat.
rat thing.
It's defiled by. I love that scene so much. Defiled by Hulkenberg. Okay, I adore that scene. That is a gem of our time. I love that scene so much.
But yeah, I mean, aside from his just that part of his introduction, I like that Heismay's hyped up as like this evil bastard, and he has the voice.
I did not realize. I was not
correct.
expecting that. I was on God was not expecting that voice to come out. I did not realize dude was gonna have a deep ass voice. I was ready for like a not a high pitched voice, but like not that deep. I was not ready for that deep, and I said, "Ooh."
I was so happy when I heard that.
I was like, "Ooh."
Well, when I saw Heismay in like early promo material, I was horrified.
Oh yeah, I was so
I
scared.
was horrified.
I was like, oh, he's gonna be like, he's gonna have like a high pitched type voice, not a Morgana type voice, but I was like, oh, he's like, I was not expecting a deep voice. On God, was not.
Well, and also, I mean, voice aside, I was just expecting like a pushed, annoying mascot character.
Right, that too.
Like Morgana. I find Teddy less annoying than the average person does, probably because I had a huge crush on his human form as a kid, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, Heismay's just. I think they took inspiration from like Puss in Boots for him, of all places.
Yeah.
And it works.
Oh yeah, no, he is cool. He is cool AF. Yeah, I know. I was so ready for like, I was like, oh, he's gonna be like a high pitch, like, oh, non-human character type weird thing, but no, he's chill. He's like, bro's like, I'm just a father. I miss my son, and you know, not saying you're losing your son's cool, but like, nah, he's a cool character. Like, he is one of the one of the goats. He's one of the goats.
And I love that he becomes like the father figure and moral compass of the main group.
Right.
Because everyone here is just a dumb child. Like, at their core, they might be adults. They're not like
They're
mature,
not.
smart people. Heismay is, he might like age differently, so I don't know if he's like technically the oldest, but I mean he is the wisest, and he's a parental figure, and I think that's why that fits the group dynamic really well. I like him a lot.
I think he's got to be somewhere in the realm of like 40s. I mean, what's second closest? Like, I don't know. I think it would be Heismay, Hulkenberg, and then like everyone else is on the good side of 30, where they're just all like, you know, Juna's maybe 25.
Yeah, I'm looking on the wiki. Everyone else is like somewhere between like 18 and like mid to late 20s. Heismay doesn't have his actual age listed, but it says he is a middle-aged man.
He's at least near the 40. He's about to hit that big 4-0 on God. I mean, what's the average age of parents, and then just like add a few more years to that, like add a decade to that.
Yeah, no, he's probably pushing like that man is in his 40s, maybe pushing 50. Like,
yeah, he's also a knight, or former knight, so you know, he's got to have some age on him for, you know, him being a knight. But, you know, he's Heismay gets 3 big booms.
Fair.
All right, who's up next? I forgot who's in the next character.
Next character, we actually have quite a gap for when they join our party, but when they eventually do, it is Lady Juna.
Me love her and Hulkenberg. I love Juna. I stand Juna. We stand Juna in this household. If you're not with me, you're against me. I like her a lot. I'll let y'all go though.
I like that I could punt her like a football.
I love her little baby form. Because listen, Note early on was like, I want you to get to like whatever like late ranks of Juna's like bond. I was like, all right, and then I got it. I took a screenshot of it and sent it to him. It's like, why is she a fucking baby? Why is she a little baby?
Honestly,
Funny.
absolutely insane marketable plushie opportunity.
Actually. Why is she a
I'm gonna
baby?
look up if they've made that already.
I doubt it,
don't
but
think
I
they
like
have.
she's a little baby.
Shoot, what is their race called?
The like it starts with an N. Nadine.
Yeah, Nydia.
Fucking son. I went on Google and said Juna metaphor true form, and the second image I get is it's a fucking it's a fucking tic-tac-toe thing. Fucking, why the fuck is she a little baby?
I
Actual
looked it
Ira.
up. There have only been 3 marketable plushies for Metaphor, and I don't think they haven't even come
Oh,
out
dude,
yet.
I
But
do.
it's
I wish I
it's
did have
just the
money.
protagonist, Gallica and Hulkenberg so
I do
far.
want those. I do want those. I don't know how much. I know they're like probably $1 billion. I want all 3. They look so cute.
They'll probably cost like $30 each.
I would.
Take
I
a
would.
guess.
Buy if I
Yeah,
wasn't
like
buying.
30 in shipping. Just save money. I mean, you don't need to play any other games now that you have Metaphor. You can just play it again.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I
Yeah.
do just like she's a little baby. She's a little baby man. Little baby man. Anyways, yeah, I know I like Juna. I like she's the Persona user. She does Persona.
Yes, that's Juna's entire character. She's the Persona reference. We'll get to Yufa. She's the SMT reference.
Which makes her better.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have to concede to that point. I like Juna more in every way, but unfortunately, she is a Persona character, and therefore she is worse than Yufa.
Yeah.
I like both. I think I like Juna. Listen, that.
Okay, but I mean, yeah, bits aside, I really like that she. I mean, not only does she, have the Persona powers, the Persona-inspired powers, her character is like emblematic of the like classic Carl Jung concept of the persona you put on, like, and this stupid ass chibi form is also a part of that character. It's an extension of that, and I really like that. She's always putting on a different mask. That's, again, it's one big Persona reference, but also one big classic Jungian psychology
I mean, yeah.
reference, which is what Persona was built off of, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like. When it comes to analyzing characters, that's not me. I just go, yeah, character nice. I enjoy their presence. I used her in battle, so characters I like I use in battle type shit. So yeah, fucking little. I just do just like little baby man. Just a little baby man. Just want to. I just like. Does she ever just like walk around and fucking what's his name, Luis's like mansion fucking as a little baby man?
Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's mansion. Oh, K-Man, you have anything to say about Juna?
Exists. She's got a good heel turn on her in that part of the game. Wow,
She tries to rizz up Will. She like fucking. She does the like hand against the wall thing.
Autobombs Will and then is ready to cut a bitch. I respect it.
I respect the grind.
Man, it's so nice to have a game with a bunch of well-written women in it.
Woohoo!
Women, we love women.
Let's go, women. Let's go. Yeah, I think romance, not having romance did wonders for the game.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
Listen,
you're not forced to. You're only forced to deal with like the rank 7 implied crush on one occasion, and that's really, really based.
All right. Well, next is I think Yufa comes next afterwards.
Yes.
I do also just before we get into her, I do find it funny that it's like, I was like playing the story because I'm like, I know who's coming, I know who's gonna be a party member just because of marketing shit. But playing the game, I'm like, yo, when the fuck do I get another party member? Like, no, like before Juna, I'm like, it's just been the 4-man gang for a while. Like, when the fuck do I get a new party member? That's not here nor there. I just had to say that. I was like, damn, when do we?
Yeah, they let you go through a full You get Heisme right before a dungeon starts, and they let you go through an entire dungeon after that, and it's only at the very end of it you get Juna. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, Yufa, the number 1 ranked in the West. She's neat.
Much like Hulkenberg, I know she's not my favorite. I know a lot of people really like her. I just don't have a ton to say about her. I think I could have engaged with her more as a character.
I probably shouldn't go back and like
that,
actually.
Yeah.
She sadly was on that tail end of me trying to blitz through the game, so I like did not pay attention too much to their what's it called rank thing. Also, another thing that that more includes. I like how this cast feels like they are all integral to the plot, and I say that because I was really expecting for like Juna, Yufa, and Basilio to like not have like that much of a speaking role like in the game. I was like how in Persona like it's mainly like Persona, it's mainly like Persona 5 like. You know, while some characters do speak, they don't feel like they don't get that like much time to like really speak in the plot. But everyone in this game, I feel like out of the main cast, like has a reason to speak. Like they're integral to this. They have a reason to be a part of this plot.
Yeah, shoutouts to getting like the best first dungeon in the series. Maybe up until the desecrated cathedral, and then they're just like, yeah, you're gonna be used for jokes for the rest of the game, and also as a very uncomfortable plot point in the very next dungeon. Have fun.
That's literally every character in Persona, mostly in 4 and 5. Like after your initial dungeon, all right, time for us to shake out like 90% of your likable character traits and reduce you down to 10 lines, so it'll be easier for the spin-offs to reduce you down to 2. And
again, that's what's so good about this game. I was genuinely like shocked. I was like, wow, everyone has a reason. Again, I'm not a person that likes to be picky, but like I like that a lot of people. Okay, hold on, I gotta get this fucking baby man off my screen. I like how people like the character cast in this game have a reason to be there. I like that. Like there is a reason.
Everyone fucking hates Luis.
Yeah, everyone has a reason to dislike Luis, I feel like, in a way.
Man has beef with everybody.
Bro has so many ops, like...
Yufa might be the exception. Like, she eventually gets a reason to hate Luis, but since she's from Etria, she is so divorced from the rest of the cast.
But you know what? That's fair. I think also her What's Hulkenberg? Not Hulkenberg. Fucking oh god, Heisme. What's his reason to you know? Because the framing was not his doing. It was the woman. I keep forgetting her name.
I guess Heisme has less of a reason to be there as well, but he was still part of the Shadow Guard, so he would have been in like direct contact with Luis. It's not too far of a stretch to say that he could have had a hand in like getting Heisme kicked out or perpetuating the culture that made him leave the Shadow Guard.
Right.
Whereas Yufa is just like, yeah, the Mustari experienced racism at the hands of the Sanctus Church and their revisionist history. And then she meets Luis and she's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you want to
Hey,
bomb
it-
my
yeah,
fucking? You want to
go-
bomb my like
uh,
living area?
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
First five minutes within meeting him is like, yeah, here's Dracodios. Cool. We don't have to bomb you guys. Thank you.
Preach.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Yufa's interesting. I think she's got the best arc or like the best in-dungeon arc and
Oh, for sure.
probably the best dungeon just because it gives you an opportunity to kind of deconstruct the Mustari religious beliefs and see
Yeah, it's really interesting.
something that's so divorced. And I don't know, do we want to talk about Batlin now, or do we save him for later?
But briefly, I did just want to talk about fucking Heismay's reason for fighting Luis. I just had his wiki page pulled up. Control F, human and Luis. The only mentions of human were the fact that Heismay, saves us from a human when we meet him, and
Right.
him fighting a human as a part of the dungeon. And the only mention of Luis is
There, you got it.
He died.
Take your time.
oh, fuck it.
It's
I
okay,
have
yeah.
text to speech on. Fuck.
Go on.
So yeah, I said the thing about the humans, right?
Yeah, you did. You were saying something about.
Okay, so yeah, direct quote from the only mention of Luis. I'm gonna directly quote the wiki here. After solving the case, this is also when the rest of the party reveal their plot to save the prince and get close to Luis Gilliburn to lift the curse. And Heismay officially agrees to join their cause out of sheer loyalty.
Just for the love of the game, baby.
He just really likes these kids.
He's like,
He's just like, yeah, they're funny. And if I don't, they're going to just try and bang
Fucking
Oz in
die.
front of Louise. At the end, at the midpoint of the Mantira arc, and they're just gonna fucking die. I should probably cast my lot with them so that they have at least someone functional.
Also, I'm not doing anything else,
Like, well, I guess I gotta find a place to bury my son somewhere.
I don't know, maybe this kid with blue hair and pronouns can help you with that.
blue hair pronouns. I love.
Eventually,
that.
white hair pronouns.
Yeah, now he's they them, not because they're
He,
non-binary.
no,
because
he's
they're
hims, he's. There's two he
little.
hims.
True. Fucking yeah, I like how I made my tier list.
Heismay.
I made my tier list. It came in. It's like you would put the prince's corpse in top tier. Like, oh, I thought that was just Will post like transformation. So then I put him down in his own.
Post-surgery.
Yeah, then I put him down in its own time marches on shit. But we were talking about Yufa. Yeah, she cool. I'm glad she
Yeah.
did not kill herself. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect her dedication to the religion, even as it's being thrown in her face. I think her brother does a nice job of realizing, oh shit, maybe it's not a good idea to sacrifice my sister.
So-
That would be kind of cringe of me, especially when it's not really doing anything.
Yeah, the dragon's still kind of a problem. It's like, no, girl, don't do it. You're too sexy. You know, she's neat. She does devil summon. She make the little hee-ho guy, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's very cute. This game has a lot of cute little Atlas references because in a lot of ways it feels like it is a celebration of Atlas's like 35th anniversary as a whole. I think it's
I think it's 35th.
yeah. So there's a lot of like, obviously Yufa is the I almost said DMC. I mean, she is the DMC reference. But yeah, no, she's the SMT rep. Juna's the Persona rep.
Will
And
is Soul
there's
Hackers rep.
Will is the Soul Hackers rep.
His final archetype. Dude, it's so funny when I unlock that archetype. It's like, archetype unlock
Why
Soul
is
Hacker.
it called that?
Well, just, okay.
I
Soul
don't get-
Hacker.
But yeah, there's also just a lot of other cute Atlas references. Like, we're talking about this whole arc and the whole reason we went to Yufa's, which was to get an ancient artifact. So a different religious order can steal it.
Yeah, it's like before, or at least I remember when they went to the little below area. They're like, oh, this is just a city. It's like, oh, that's like SMT4, I think.
Yes, I think that was supposed to be a reference to SMT4.
Not detail that too much further. I've been recommended to play SMT4, and that's about.
I mean, it's not much of a spoiler. let me put it this way. I won't say exactly it, but I mean it is a plot reveal that happens after the second boss, which is like a couple hours in. And
so it's just post-apocalyptic Shinjuku instead of like generally post-apocalyptic Japan.
Okay, fuck it, I'll just say it. You start the game in the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado, which is like a medieval samurai village. But then you descend down the depths of Naraku, which is like the evil dungeon where the demons live. And you get far enough down in that to realize you were actually in heaven the entire time, and you were descending down Tokyo Tower. And you look out the window and you see Tokyo enclosed in a giant black dome, and that's where the rest of the game takes place.
Wonderful.
It's peak. It is peak.
Yeah, who would have guessed that maybe I should engage with the Atlas games that don't make me want to tear what's left of my hair out?
True. SMT4 is very good, chat. Go play SMT4. But yeah, the whole thing I was getting to was the fact that one of the religious artifacts is a Demonica from Strange Journey, and that's cute.
Yeah, apparently one of them is just Piggytron from the Hero boss fight.
Yeah.
Speaking of SMT, you go on and I'll say my point.
No, I just didn't notice those in the back scene. I think I'm actually... I don't know what to search to pull that up.
Just a random thing. Random like gameplay thing. I've been saving Metaphor like challenge run, because I love challenge run videos, and I was like, as soon as I finish Metaphor, I can't wait to watch these. Random thing, I didn't realize you can pass in the game. I guess I just never they may have gave like a tutorial. I never passed in the game like you can like SMT. I didn't know that was a thing, and I see people do it, and I'm like, what the fuck, you can pass in the game? I mean, I don't think I would have had any real use, but I was like, I didn't realize you could like pass your turn in the game. I did not know you could do that. Just a random thing I just thought of. Who's next? Basilio. He got that dog with it.
Yeah, we'll talk about Fetal and Basil at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
I think starting with Fidelio makes the most sense, right, because he's, I mean, the main brother for the entire time they're alive. So they act as Luis's right hand men for a while Juna's his
dicking around
right hand woman. But yeah, my favorite thing about Basil and Fetal is that they just hang out with the main party. They're there to watch them,
which is so funny. It's like, oh, they're just
here. Such a good dynamic.
They're just here, and just a random thing. Like I knew Basilio was gonna become a party member, but as the game kept going, I was like, is he gonna be like that temporary party member, like Akechi? Like, is he just gonna come in for like a little bit and then like dip back out? Because I was like, there's like Fidelio's not a party member, but you are. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, then.
For a second, I thought they might pull like a combo party member thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, just trauma. Sorry.
Just trauma. Oh.
Sorry, you're stuck with the boring one now.
I wouldn't call Basil boring. He's a good boy.
By virtue of comparison, he kind of is to me, because I think Fidelio has a lot more they could have. Fidelio felt relatively complete, but I think they could have explored him even more if they. I
would have loved to have a follower path with Fidelio. I think that would have been very, very fun. Something I think that would have been really cool. This would have been a ton of extra work, is if you could like somehow influence which one survives.
Ooh. But
Yeah.
What do you
the
do? What do you think?
problem
Do you think
is-
Fidelio would have ever like came to terms to like, hey, Luis is kind of a dickhead. Like
Yes. If he
No.
killed his brother, yes.
Yeah. No, because Fidelio, I get that he's downright loyal to Luis, but I think his priority is keeping Basilio alive.
Yeah, he cares more about his brother than he does about Luis. I mean, he literally sacrifices himself
that's true.
for his
That is-
brother.
that is true.
He doesn't take Luis's side, you know.
I just think
he
it's mainly because
sacrifices
Fidelio
himself
didn't.
for
Oh, go on.
innocent.
Okay, I might be misremembering. Did he not?
No. I think you're right.
What,
I
about
think
what?
Basilio gets in front.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. No. Because I think
Then Fidelio gets in front of Basilio.
Basilio gets in front of Luis, and then Fidelio, because he's about to shoot like the family, and then Fidelio like.
The beam.
pushes-
I just have it pulled up on the wiki. The beam shatters the shield and pierces Fidelio through the chest after he pushes Basilio out of the way. So yeah, no, he sacrifices himself for his brother.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought.
Yeah. That hit a little. I don't think you could really do that without alternating the archetypes, and Berserker does fill that niche of very much.
Pure physical.
Yeah, here's your physical damage dealer that snaps the game balance in half because we can't have nice mage stuff anyways.
Which is funny because I did not use him that much. I mean,
Yeah,
I used him in like the dungeon we got him because like new party member, but then new toy to play with. But then I kind of cast him aside and went for my all-decade team. So, which every guide agreed with. So I was like, shit, I guess I'm doing something.
used Basilio for like 5 battles, and in one of them he was just flat out required.
Right. I guess mainly because Hulkenberg became my physical. Like she did purely just physical. So I was like, I don't really need 2 pure physical backs, you know.
Yeah,
like
that's
here's
fair,
the thing,
but-
like Basilio did not have any magic, and I didn't have any magic on Hulkenberg, so it wasn't even like a Ryuji type
I
situation where like he can do a little electric thing. Like no, I had them just physical, so I
Well,
don't really
I don't
need another one.
that so much as game balance gets snapped in half, and I mean she can do Berserker stuff just fine because MP based heavy area damage skills is better than whatever the fuck we'd like to call what Brawler had going on.
Which is the archetype I had fucking
Yeah, no,
Hulkenberg
hands down, I think it's the worst feeling archetype in the game just because the HP costs are too high. But that's besides the point.
I mean, I'm still on. I mean, sometimes I keep flip flop. This is a gameplay spiel, a Megaton gameplay thing. I'm still split on if I like physical attacks being MP. I'm still split on do I like that or do I not. Like SMT5 changed my world with that because that was the first Megaton game I had. No, was it SMT5? I think it was. SMT was the first like game that had like that I played that had physical as MP, and I was like, that's weird.
I like and dislike it. I think the way that physical has shaped it up in a lot of Megaton games to being like the most OP thing you can be doing at any given situation. I think it is good to have it cost MP instead. I take it back. I think it's good to have it cost HP, so the characters that are spamming physical moves are way more of glass cannons than they would be otherwise.
I think the HP cost of Brawler was just too high, though. Even with
that
free
is true.
revival
That is
stuff
true,
that
dude.
you-
That is true.
It's just like,
what is
oh
that?
hey,
Yeah, 200, dude. Like fucking the I think jump thrust, whatever that like the pierce attack that lowers the
Yeah.
defense took like 230. I was like, holy shit,
yeah,
that is a quarter. That is like
40%
a
of a
quarter of
character's
my.
health for a one-stage defense drop and like 10 damage, and then they immediately explode because you're using them in the front line.
I was like, yeah, that is taking a fuck ton of Hulkenberg's HP. Like that's a quarter of Hulkenberg's HP just to do that, just to really do that debuff.
But yeah, I mean, I actually used Basilio quite a bit because I like big fuck you hit characters in Megaton. I think they can be really funny.
I like I said, I used him a
And he
bit.
was.
I mean, A Berserker is probably one of the better archetypes in the game, honestly, just because access to charge and fuck you.
Oh yeah, no,
AoE
dude,
skills.
because okay, can I ask a question? I can't remember this. Is there a charge equivalent for magic attacks? I thought it
Yes.
was no, because I thought it was concentrate, but concentrate is just it just takes your you can make your attack go to stage 3, I think. But I don't think there's
No,
like
there is one.
like is there, because I remember I only got people into
Unless,
the Berserker.
unless it's tied to a masked dancer synthesis.
Which I don't.
Mm.
I mean, I know the dancer thing has the like charge for all your party members, but I don't remember if there's a concentrate version for.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain there is.
Because I know the word concentrate is what Stroll's final archetype has. Let me see. Hold on. That's what I'm trying to.
I'll be back in like just a minute.
That's what I was trying to like.
I forget if this game had something. Again, I am the furthest away from when I played this, so my perspective is a bit more fucky. But yeah, I mean, we got a bit distracted. But yeah, those two funny dog boys, we like them a lot.
Yeah. Concentrate increases the magic. Sorry, concentrate increases the caster's attack by 3 ranks. That's what concentrate is.
Yes. Yeah, that's
and
right.
then charge itself is boosts the physical thing, but I don't think there's a like there isn't a magic thing. There isn't a magic thing for that in Nocturne. Like Nocturne just has the charge and that only does physical attacks.
Yeah, I wonder why it's bullshit. Why it's a very, very OP thing.
Which is fun.
Why
I
physical so much better than magic?
I don't think physical attacks are all that in this game. Like there are like
they're a lot more.
They're a lot more they're a lot more balanced. Like I think I used a lot more magic attacks mainly because of that the mass dancer skills like that gives your party member a weakness or not party member.
Yes.
Gives the enemies a weakness. That's hard as fuck. They need to add that. They need to do more of that. That's cool.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there are similar types of abilities like the break abilities in some of the modern Persona games, but those only
were only removed resistance. They don't give a weakness. So, but I guess that game doesn't rely on press turns like other Metaphor does. So.
Yeah, being able to add weaknesses works in press turn because you're still significantly more limited than you are in one more. One more is a much easier system to break, I find, than a press turn is.
Because
also a less fun system to break.
Which is also very funny that in gameplay wise that this game persistent to like the last dungeon, enemies still had weaknesses. Like I don't feel like in Persona games, like late game enemies didn't have weaknesses. I could.
Yes.
At the point where you get weakness implants, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like
we were just talking about that.
Yeah. Off of a masked dancer, and then wow.
Still though, I think I really appreciate the fact that a lot of random encounter enemies still have weaknesses laid into this game, because a problem I find with one of your big pushes to just use physical or almighty physical and just stop thinking about anything is the fact that these enemies are having too many resistances and not enough have weaknesses at all. So yeah, fuck it. We just
physical because
we do the things that almost always work. But I appreciate the fact that they made them a lot more, a lot harder to break.
Yeah, I mean, you still could. I was introduced to the synthesis item. And my last 20 hours was spent spamming cleric synthesis with the occasional Dance of Purge Light just to get the weakness implant chain started.
I can't really talk about gameplay wise because I played on I after a bit I forgot what I did, but I changed the game to easy mode. So because I was like,
Yeah,
wanna
I
get
was on normal the whole time.
I was on normal
Um,
until I forgot what made me change to easy. Because I was just like, I just want to get through this game a little bit easier. But I was like, I don't want to go to immediately to storytelling because I still want to have even so easy mode still. But granted, that was because of my dumbass being underleveled, low key. But I was like, easy mode still was, I had to still think about stuff. Um, yeah, no, I like that. I guess we since we're on the little gameplay tour. What do y'all think about the synthesis? Oh God, whatever. The things where you
Fusion
partner.
spells.
Yeah, the fusion
Something.
spells. What do you think about those?
I think they were unnecessary. If I'm being, I think they're cool. I think they're very cool. I think they were just a little bit too good.
I think they would have been better if the turn having if the turn having accessory wasn't in the game, because then there would be a
Yes.
much better cost. They're also very annoying early, because one, you're trying to stack multiple classes on just 3 members, and two, it's like the only source of AoE
Right. Yeah.
until
That's
well past until like you get a good bit of the way past Heisme.
hell,
Especially
I think
when
until you get Juna, like I feel like
yeah,
that's when you start getting multi-target stuff because like yeah, you would only use like the things to like get weaknesses, but like most of the time you're stuck. At least for me, most of the time it's like all I have is single target stuff or like low leveled stuff. So I'm like I need these sensitive skills mainly for exploiting weaknesses because I'm like I'm just not gonna do enough with these like small tier stuff. But yeah, I feel like it is until Juna you get more AoE. Like, bro, well, when I
yeah.
got Juna, it's
I
like, oh
mean,
my god, you're taking medium damage AoE, like, fire? Holy shit, dog, you're
yeah,
popping off.
stuff like Rune's flamethrower, and it's like, I guess this exists. It's all right.
I just, I enjoy the sensitive skills. I use them, when you can. It is very demoralizing if you miss because that's basically your entire turn gone.
Yeah, no, because that's probably 3 turn icons.
No, like 4. That's 4.
really?
It's two turn icons to use, and if you
Oh
miss it,
right,
it's
yeah,
4.
because it's 2 and then an additional 2 on the miss.
So it's like when you miss that, it's like, oh, like there's my entire turn gone.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, no, I like the archetypes. I like that system. I like being able to customize my units, but it's very funny like looking up guides for the game and being like, have them on this. I'm like, I don't fucking have them on that, dog. Have
I
fucking Hulkenberg on general. Dog, that girl is not doing any magic damage. She's not doing that shit.
I still think that it's a little too open of a system for me personally. Like, I would have liked to see some restriction.
I like the freedom.
Yeah, I think being able to fuck around this much is nice. And as someone who's also been playing a lot of DDS recently, which is a similar system, I think this is a lot better.
Yeah, I enjoy the little freedom you get to make. I like having to I like making my units what I want them to be.
Yeah, no, I like that. I just wish there were a little more.
Like, what do you mean by
commitment to it.
restrictions or limits to it? Like,
Like, I'm just not a huge fan of the fact that everyone can be everything because it sort of reduces unit identity. I was
Yeah.
talking. I mentioned it to you earlier, but it's kind of the same thing as with modern Fire Emblem. If everyone can be a Wyvern Rider, then does anyone really feel unique? Or is it just like a pack of Scrimbler that happen to be a ton of Wyvern Riders?
I feel that kind of, but like I felt there was identity with okay, mainly with the last 3 party members. I felt there was an identity. I like mainly because I've already built like
Yeah.
like Hulkenberg
No,
and Stroll. I already had them in what I wanted them to be with for the game. So these new characters coming in, I'm like, I don't want them. I want them to do their own thing, and also because to get like Brawler, the Devil Summoner, and like the Persona Master, you have to have like two of like completely different like things, like, or like that's how you get the starter thing. But that's because that's because they're already like rank 2. So
yeah, no, I think that's fine. I think it might have been a bit of an inelegant solution, but maybe limiting the same active lineage to like 2, with the exception of, well, I mean, like even Masked Dancer. So you couldn't have like Max Merchant. Not that the back with increased same lineage necessarily ever drove me to run, Mass 1 archetype.
I don't know. I think the slight differences in each character made them feel unique enough. Like, even though they can all technically do anything, all of their base stats are more equipped to other things. Like, you can make Basilio a magic user. He's just going to be the worst.
That motherfucker is... I love looking at his stats when he joined. I was like, that motherfucker is not doing magic damage. Bro got 30 strength and 9 magic. You are not doing magic damage, buddy. Yo ass will be physical all day.
It's definitely more of a personal gripe. Like, it's just not the kind of system I'm the most interested in. I don't think it's as bad as Final Fantasy 12, where everyone gets... or original Final Fantasy 12, where everyone gets the same license board. But I do also wish there was even like a hint of recommended lineages.
Aside from like their default ones, but
which I didn't minus the last 3 party members, I did not do. I immediately switched them out for something. I mean, no, okay, let me rephrase that. Will, Hulkenberg, and Stroll, I know I definitely switched them out. Heisman, I kind of kept him as a fucking thief, and also put him in the gunner. But like the other 3, the last 3, I kind of kept them in what they needed, and then also. I
mean, if there were even just like after you get rank 8, a little asterisk next to Faker for Juna, to say like, hey, you might want to put this on your generally designated support unit.
That's what
if I have one genuine complaint with the archetype system, why the fuck does it auto-equip highest attack weapon and highest defense armor? I had a custom set that I was running on Cleric for the last 20 hours of the game for like additional magic damage, and I just picked up something with higher attack. So every time I had to flex out because there was like a specific weakness I needed to deal with or something, I had to go in and re-equip everything, and there's no option to like
save your loadout.
There's no save loadout option. It's just, hey, here's the best gear. You're going to switch to it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I guess my only thing came with at the end with the royal archetypes that that's the thing I kind of did dislike that, like, the game, it makes you feel like they have to go through their lineage, but I'm like, I have the option to be open, like, to do whatever I want, and now and that's why the only 2 that were able to, like, I was able to get their royal archetype was Yufa and Juna, because I had them in their already archetypes, but everyone else I couldn't do, like Stroll or Hulkenberg, because I like basically switched their thing. So I was like, I don't have them in all this stuff. I didn't know that's how you were supposed to play them. Like when you have
I did the thing. I went about this in the Minecraft way, where I used external info and context.
I tried not to.
This was pretty much something I do a lot of things. I like to play games in a fairly optimized manner, and when a game has like a long, expansive party system, I mean, I'll fuck around with it for a while, but I will usually look up around midway through the game what's the recommended party for, what's the recommended like job for each character, and for Metaphor, it was of course the royal ones. So I just started working towards the royal ones about like a third to halfway through the game, which in turn sort of led everyone to having a really natural play style, because all of the required ones for each royal archetype do fit in pretty neatly with the playstyle they expect you to use for the character. So yeah,
Which I mean, I can get that, but like that was not me. Like when I kid you not, like
the problem is the game does not tell you this itself.
Yeah, the game doesn't tell me that. So like, listen. I kind of did what you do, but like I mainly like looked at the like guides of like what are the enemy weaknesses, so I know like okay, this is what type of like build I should have it. But all like every the guys would be like, hey, you should make sure that you have like Hulkenberg in like the general, so she can do this. I'm like, dog, I don't have her in general. She does physical attack damage for me. She doesn't like buff and debuff. She purely does physical shit for me. So it's like I did not know like this is the idea of what the game wanted you to do, especially when the royal archetypes come. Because I looked up like it was mainly like after I finished like Hulkenberg's rank. It's like they get the new like what is it? What does the rank 8 say? It's like they can unlock a new like hero thing. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? This must be like
new heroic embodiment.
Yeah, so then I look at it and I'm like, and then I was like, okay, so this is something I'll get it. I get that unlock and I'm like, I can't do this because I'm not a my like I have none of like I had question marks for like 2 of my party members, so like unlock the royal thing because I like did not put them into that. So that's the only thing that sucks. I was like, man, I want to use Armageddon, but like I can't because I physically and will not have enough time to develop people into multiple different elite archetypes. That's not happening. But other than that, like I don't got a problem with the archetypes thing. I just wish it would suggest more that like, this should be what they did. Like you should have Hulkenberg as a knight. I know this is her thing, but it's like you should make sure you have her in this. That's all. That's the kind of
that's pretty much my complaint in a nutshell. It's just, hey, tell me about the royal archetype so I don't get jumped at hour 11 when I have everyone in merchant and I think like literally nobody needs it except maybe Heisme.
Yeah, I think he does, but yeah. Little gameplay spiel. What's next on the chopping block?
We want to talk about the followers.
The what?
The social links, the side characters.
Yeah. Let's do this.
We talked about the party members and their links, and I want to save Luis for last because I feel like that's funny.
Yeah.
I won't be as good with the followers because again, I did all of them. So surprisingly, I was able to finish all of them like in the game time, which I was so shocked I was able to do that. I was like, I thought I was gonna be like behind.
Fairly generous.
Okay. Before we continue, this game was almost rated M apparently.
Really?
I was just randomly scrolling through the wiki. There was a thing on elements from Megaten for this game for the elements from Megaten in Metaphor. And one of the bullet points is multiple demons from the Megami Tensei series can be summoned by the double summoner, including Jack Frost, Cerberus, Black Frost, Mothman, who I have a plush of sitting next to me and he's adorable. Decabria, Kukulane, Lakshmi, Thor, Vishnu, Shiva, Eva, and Beelzebub. Ishtar is also a summonable demon, but only usable by Yufa. Mara is in the game files, but is left unfinished. So if Mara was finished, this game might have been rated M, I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
Listen, when we get Metaphor, the Fantasio.
That's true. Also, I think that going off of this, I genuinely think the reason we have a Persona Master, a Devil Summoner, and a Soul Hacker in the game is because the Atlas is still coping that it's we have a trio.
This just reminds me of the
we're still coping about the third pillar, guys.
The big three, nigga. It's just the big me. Like, I'm sorry.
It's the third pillar. Trust me, bro.
I'm sorry. Soul Hacker is not the third pillar. I'm sorry, Atlas.
It's actually bro thinks he's on the team.
Bro thinks he's on. Yeah, we're so close. You said followers.
Where do we want to talk about Batlin?
Actually, we could talk about him right now because he was supposed to be a follower.
Honestly, I think he's he's probably the most he's one of the most interesting characters in the game.
I enjoyed him. I
love
genuinely
that one.
I genuinely enjoyed his time on screen. And I think I forgot which one of y'all I said. I was like, no, I like after the island. I was like, no, I like him more. Like
yeah, no, you mentioned it to me. Yeah, he's kind of a funny guy. Up until then,
man.
like you watch Godot and Glidell fight it out, and he's just like, I'm gonna shoutcast this shit.
Shit, I'm just gonna
because why the fuck
announcing
not?
this.
And he's like, yeah, I snuck onto this island through sheer force of will. Could you get me out of the rope? I don't want to be sacrificed to the dragon
Please.
god.
It's like, no, like, yeah, please get my
And
guy.
then he's just like, oh, the Sanctus Church is a propaganda state, and I've kind of contributed to this. Maybe my dad had a point before he got killed. And he kind of goes through that similar de-radicalization is probably a strong word.
No, it's an accurate one.
Yeah, de-radicalization that Yuffie does, just in like a Sanctus lens.
Yeah, from the other like main religion.
Instead of under like the line of Mustari beliefs.
Yeah, no, he's a really interesting character, and again, with the fact that knowing he was supposed to be a follower at some point, I think they realized he was just a little bit too important in the story to have him be a regular follower. Because I think it would have been harder for them to put him in the main story than it would have been to sort of cut down his role and make him a follower instead. I genuinely think they realized this guy's status as like your advocate is so important that he kind of has to be a member of the main story instead of having this whole like his whole deprogramming with the church be inside of a follower thing. Even though I think that would have been really interesting.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get to know him more. But like seeing how at the end of the game he starts to support you, I think it would have been. I think it's better if he wasn't just I guess I don't know. He has a sprite, so he's clearly important to the plot. So you know.
Yeah, I think you could have probably kicked Barden out for him. Maybe. This was a conversation that I had separately with a different friend, and he's like, yeah. And,
you know.
I don't know, maybe start with Barden, because his link, his follower feels pretty meh, all things considered. It's nice to see the rest of the Mantira arc.
Yeah, I feel like that arc can get a little bit of
aftermath.
You know,
but it feels very and then you just go fight the sandworm and run it back. Oh, right. I guess before we get into follower stuff, could I just take a moment and say thank God this game takes it seriously, except for when you run out of the sandworm's ass.
But I was
the arse. Gotta get run out of the arse.
That is the one that is pretty much like the only severely unserious moment in the game. Because at least banging pots to get Heismay's attention kind of serves a purpose.
Yeah, because he has sensitive hearing.
It's a funny moment, but
yeah, listen. This game has its little humor moments. Just to listen, because I don't want to slog through just serious moments for like an entire game. Like, give me a break from like a little bit. All right.
Yeah, but it's like the only moment where the game sort of just drops like any pretense of the plot.
Yeah, it's like, no, because the plot doesn't happen if you don't get out of this guy's ass, like.
Yeah. Also, fuck that fish enemy.
Dude, I tried to fight him, but you don't have you don't have the Kunda or I forgot what I keep forgetting whatever the ones to decrease. Yeah, Dakaja. Like you don't have Dakaja to like, so it's like because he would reapply it like every fucking start of every other turn. Like you don't have anything to dispel that, so it's like I didn't try.
That part of the game is when I learned you could skip animations, and that's where I very liberally applied it. Because I'm just like, no, I can't do this. Not for 20 minutes. But yeah, Barden
You know?
exists. I like him as a character, well voice acted. Helps set up the Mantira arc pretty well.
Does. Yeah.
Sees it through to its conclusion. More interesting than Baby Hoarder, Baby Hoarder Sanctus gal over there.
Yeah. Even though I think she works well as a villain.
Yeah, no, I think she works well for the arc.
Wait, you're talking about? Okay. Can I just say one thing? I think I've said this to maybe Node. I was so fucking shocked they executed her. I dead ass was like, they're not gonna execute. They're not gonna this. That was when I realized, oh, this game is something different. That moment in the game is what made me officially dragged me into this game. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they executed her. Oh, she's dead. Like,
I knew they were going to kill her. I didn't expect them to do it unceremoniously on the spot.
oh yeah, I did not think they were gonna do. They didn't do it on screen, but like they did it in the scene. Like I was I was not ready for that. On God, I was not ready for that. I was like, oh shit, this game can do anything. Like it has my attention now. Like I was so not expecting. Like I did not think they were gonna. I thought she was gonna get like arrested and they were like, she would serve time in jail or whatnot. I think they were gonna.
Could it be like a single line of, "Oh yeah, she was at the gallows the other week" or some shit?
Yeah, I didn't think. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that race trader in Grand Trad who eventually gets stabbed in the final month of the game. Yeah, he's just got like 2 lines of throwaway dialogue about her. Nope. She gets killed right in front of you.
That's what that fish. I think that point in the game, like officially, like, granted I didn't really play the game much after. That's just because life happened. But like, that was when the game like absolutely hooked me in, and I was in for the long run. I was like, oh, they showed that. I was not ready for that. Like, I guess coming from Persona, it's like, oh yeah, no, anything bad that happens, that's gonna be off screen. You're not gonna hear any of that. Nope. She's dead.
Cut away before the character gets slapped. Nope.
Yeah, or something like the black fade to black. Like, oh no, they like just turn. I'm pretty sure they turned the camera to like the characters. Like, oh, this is like I said. I think that was one of the most memorable points of the game. Of like, okay, this game like will suspend my expectations. I am fully ready for what this game can throw at me. And then the like final arc is like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, no, that genuinely shocked me, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Anything else about Barton?
No.
Nah, he's neat, but
I think he's probably like the character out of all the followers, he's the one I feel the most about.
Yeah.
Aside from me, this friend, Moore.
Which friend?
Moore. Our friend Moore.
I keep forgetting he's second. I mean,
Dad.
he's a velvet attendant. He has a velvet room social link type thing. So.
That's Igor. He doesn't even get the funny long nose song. How sad.
Whatever.
Yeah,
he's
I mean, he has some lore to him. He's a king. He's the king.
No
he's got
booms in a fairly disappointing boss fight.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Granted, it was surrounded by some pretty fucking hard ones, but still.
Yeah, I just use Hero's Cry, charge, fucking whatever the thing to increase my attack, fucking Royal Slash, and all that shit.
Yeah, I didn't use Prince hardly at all, so...
I did. Cause I just inherited the Soul Hacker shit, and used that. Especially since most of the enemies, like, game are human,
How
so...
the fuck did you inherit Soul Hacker stuff? I thought you weren't able to.
No, you can. It's an archetype like any other. You probably can't inherit Prince. Yeah, no, but I was able to inherit, like, Soul Hackers, like, attacks and whatnot. Like, I know I put, like, the final thing you get, on, fucking Yufa, because I was like, something to ignore resistance is pretty nice.
No.
Also, I'm looking through Moore's trivia. Hey, the music that plays when you're fighting him is the same music that plays when when you first get control of Will, when you're in the desert running towards Grand Trad. I think that's actually pretty cool.
There's so many fucking motifs of this.
Reversing the
Yeah, we'll talk about the music in a bit, but and also his cat theme is Plateau, and the cat is okay. They just found him in the Mages Academy, and now Juna takes care of the cat.
Cute.
Yeah, the cat is in the epilogue, and you can just meet the cat, and I think that's great.
You just give him a little pat.
Good kitty. Nurse.
I low-key did not pay attention during his social links.
I low-key love Nurse. He's just a friend.
I think he's a chill dude, like story-wise, but I did not pay attention through his social links for the most part.
Shoutouts autism, honestly.
A little bit.
He has a hyperfixation, so you know what? Good on him.
There is
Neglected his family
neurodivergent
because of how much
person.
he enjoys being a fucking mechanic.
Yeah, he's like, I was engaged to someone, but I was too interested in my funny trinkets, so we missed out on that. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Just me
He was
and
so
my
real.
me and my fucking like tank or something.
Me and my goddamn plot armor attuned desert traversal machine trademark.
Yeah, he drives the bus driver. He drives the bus. We like him for that. We appreciate him for
We
that.
enjoy him.
I don't have a ton to say about Nurse that we didn't already say. He's a silly man that likes his trinkets.
Yeah, he's just neat.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a neat guy.
I mean, he's also a bit of an. He's also probably the only alcoholic in the group, and that's cool.
Yeah, the only other person who's definitely old enough to drink is Heisme, and he's above that, I think.
Yeah.
I
think June is a closeted alcoholic. She just gives that vibe.
Hulkenberg might have done a round or two after a shift with the Knights, but
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Because I guess you have.
Nanako.
Say it one more time.
Nanako. You know Nanako
Oh.
Dojima.
Oh right.
yeah,
I liked her. I like her link. I liked it.
Yeah, Maria is. I mean, she really is just Nanako again, but that's not a bad thing because Nanako is one of the best parts of P4.
Yeah,
I like her.
yeah.
I like her.
Doesn't get dragged into hell, and that costs her some points as Nanako's equivalent.
She doesn't get dragged to hell and then crawl her way back.
Yeah, all she does is
She also racism.
have
and, you know,
have her dad get killed, and some kids are racist to her. Wow, it's not like everyone's racist to Will already, so that doesn't go as hard.
Well, hey, Will can empathize and be like, yeah, that's life, but you'll get over
Yeah.
it. Life will get better.
I don't know. I like that her and Fabienne hang up the pictures
Yeah, it's so cute.
on the wall. Yeah, so fucking adorable. I think I only saw that after I had hung up like all but 3 of them.
I didn't know.
It was like,
I didn't know
oh,
that happened. I don't know where do you see that? I guess I missed.
In the yeah, every time you like travel to every time you like stop by a big vista, you know, and the
Yeah,
it
I know
just,
you.
like,
I know you
takes
give
us
her.
to
I
where
know you give her
take a
pictures.
picture.
They're on the
And
left
those pictures
wall.
just hang up in like the little lobby
They're
of
on
her tavern.
the left wall of the.
Oh, I guess
Honeybee-
I'll have to go back. I guess
Honeybee.
if I ever go back and play the game, I'll have to go back and see it. Yeah, I guess I don't remember. Seeing them.
Yeah, because
That's
you
really
would have
cute.
had the option to give those to Maria every time you passed one.
Are those required? Are those required for her social link? Because I thought they are. They?
No, they're not. They don't even give any bonus. It's just like a cute little
Yeah,
aesthetic
because
thing.
I what made me question it, I thought it was a part of it until I finished her social link and I still got the things. I was like, oh, is it not tied to her social link? I just,
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's not.
I mainly looked up like how the stat requirements and stuff, which I was shocked I was able to even do, but
Yeah, social stats felt kind of manageable in this game.
They were very manageable.
Yeah, no, I maxed everything with time to spare.
yeah, I just was shocked I did because I didn't know how much time I would have left. But yeah, no, I was able to do it, so I was able to max out everyone's social link. But yeah, no, Maria is neat.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
She's neat.
All right, moving on to the best character in the game. And if this game ever gets like DLC or or like some kind of expansion, this is the character I want to play as. I don't want to play as anyone in the main party. I want to play as Katharina Gran.
Oh hell yeah! I'm sad she's not a party member. I am so sad.
Yeah, I mean, she could have been Faunus rep. I personally want Metaphor. If we're going for the Katharina playable game, I don't want it to be combat. I want it to be overseas diplomacy management sim. And you're just playing like the exploration section of Frostpunk.
But then there's also just inexplicably Catherine puzzle segments.
Sure, why not?
It'd be funny.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm so sad she is not a party member, but I adore her.
She's all right. If you don't get her to rank 4 by the time you're out of it's not Mantira. What the fuck's it called?
Rafflehaven.
Out of Brylehaven,
Yeah.
you kind of lose out on her until Altabury, I think.
Here's the funniest thing about
she goes
her.
so long without being able to interact
That's
with
the
her.
thing. That's what
Yeah.
kind of sucks, dude. I kid you not, I kept looking at the guide, the social link guide. I'm like, when the fuck do I get to talk to her next?
I distinctly remember, Ren, you like messaged me saying, when do I get to hang out with Katharina again?
Because I got her to rank 4 because I found her doing on her little ship. Cause I saw her and I was like, oh, that's how you get her. I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, I looked and I was I think this was before the Virgo Island, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, you have to wait to a bathtub, and I was like, or like near the bathtubs, like where the fuck are those? This is not Rivalhaven. And I like look and I'm like, and I look more and I was like, oh, that's in Altoberry. That's like 2 towns away. Fuck! Am I gonna have time to do her? Like,
Yeah, the
this thing
pacing
is
for
so
archetype
long way.
links. Going back on archetypes, some of the pacing for unlocks is extremely frustrating.
Oh my
The
god!
fact that
Oh
you
my
stuck with
god!
Brawler for half the game, the
Oh
fact you
my-
only get top end of mage for the last month.
Dude, that is so annoying. Cause I wanted, which I did, I then barely got it, Will, cause I was planning on making Will like the magic support dude. Like he'll do like the elemental like magic and stuff. But I rarely even did that with him because you don't get the mage shit or the like the late stuff until like damn near the last dungeon. And I'm like, well, I already have my elemental coverage is already done by fucking, oh my god, dude, now we're talking, I keep forgetting the Persona and SMT reps, like I keep forgetting how to pronounce their names, I'm sorry, but like I already had
Juna and Yufa.
yeah, Juna and Yufa, I've already had my like elemental coverage covered by them, so I didn't even really need to make, you know, Will into a mage. But yeah, no, that made me so irritated that thing was at the end of the game to unlock those. And then yeah, fucking, because I've been had like the max rank of the second brawler thing on Hulkenberg, and I'm just waiting for Katharina to come back so I can like get the next thing rant over.
Yeah.
That just, yeah, no, that was annoying.
But yeah, we love Katharina.
We
I
love
like
her.
that. We love that she's an unspoken Catherine reference. You know, I like that a lot. It paying respect to the most important game Atlas has ever made, which that you should.
The forgotten Atlas.
Atlas's Forgotten Gem. If I had my way, Will's third tier archetype wouldn't be called Soul Hacker; it would just be called Catherine. I think that'd be funny.
Will's androgynous enough for it, I'll allow it.
You know,
Game theory: Will's gender fluid.
Yeah. I mean,
Game
there's-
fact, Will's gender fluid.
You know, I love Will. Or, I love Katharina too, and Will. Yeah. I like them. I enjoy her. I like her. I like her funny accent. I like her voice. I think she's neat.
Yeah.
Alright, who's next?
Moving on to what I think is one of the most like talked about followers, purely for like their outside of like the main party and like purely for, you know, their social events. Alonso.
I think
Pretty
I
good.
playing it, listen to him. I'm like, this is probably one of Note's favorite character.
I like Alonso a lot. I mean, he
I
has a
don't
similar thing going to Katharina where he's very eat the rich coded, which I appreciate.
I mean, no marketable plushie form from what I recall, so immediate 0 out of 10, I guess.
I mean,
but-
theoretically, he should have one.
Yeah, maybe
he's
maybe
also
that's
Joker
how he
Persona 5,
survives.
low key.
A little bit.
Is
I,
he gets stabbed and then he gets turned into a plushie at the last second, and the guy just
That'd be
doesn't
hilarious.
realize.
I do like because that it tells you so much about how like low key like I was not paying attention to social links. When he got fucking executed, I was like, what the fuck? I like shake my head. I'm like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is he getting executed? I feel
And
like
then in ranking, he's just okay.
yeah, then he's just
Man,
then he just
I
climbs
love
back.
that.
So
I
it's like
love that.
from like rank
His
like 3 to
is him getting executed, and then there's an extra event where he's just like Lamau psych. Also, a true Persona fan moment, not reading and realizing that major character events were.
I don't like
are
I don't know
happening.
what happened. I guess I was so like I want to beat this game. Like to the point where I wasn't here's the thing, I wasn't skipping dial like I wasn't minus like the the last like few ranks so like of like people's social link like basically the ranks I did in the past like 2 days of trying to not get through the game. I didn't skip the dialogue like speed through it. I just didn't read it like that. So I was like shook my head. I was like, what the fuck? What, he's getting executed? Like that's
I
what I'm
mean,
like.
Alonso could also be a Fire Emblem protagonist. His mom dies.
That is true.
True.
That is true. That you know, yeah. No,
Actually, he is the character most likely to.
listen,
be
he already
a
has
Fire
blue
Emblem-
hair, so you know he's a.
Yeah,
He's
blue
halfway there.
hair, pronouns. Like it's him or Will because Maria's just a little young. In Fire Emblem, we only use child soldiers because they're funny, not as main characters.
You know,
But the most important part about our friend Alfonso, did I say Alonso? I want to say Alfonso.
What are you about to say?
I was gonna say Alfonso because that's a more normal name. No, it's Alonso. By far, his most important thing is the fact that he gives you my personal favorite archetype in the game because it's the one with all the debuffs, and I think that's really funny.
Which one I barely didn't use. I didn't really use until I got Juna and Yufa. Again, the game picked up for me when I got those two. I was like, oh hell yeah.
That being said, the funniest archetype in the game comes from our final follower, Brigitte, or Brigitte, I forget how it's pronounced.
I liked her. I enjoyed her link. I enjoyed. Her link is a lot of whiplash. You go from her dealing with a cat to like, yeah, I'm just gonna go burn down someone's like
It
village.
is a dog. I would have been so much more invested if it were a cat. I would have walked over and
you're
murdered
just a cat
Ford
person.
myself. Curse be damned.
But yeah, I like that her entire following in the tradition of a lot of metaphor characters just covering random topics that normal Atlas games just would not touch. Her entire her entire like follower events are based around war profiteering and the ethics of creating weaponry.
Listen, this game is saying fuck all that SMT Persona shit. We our own thing. We better do our own thing.
Rated T for teen.
Well, cause listen, I was like, cause when the game first came out, I saw a lot of people talk about her. It like draw a lot of her. So I was like, okay, well this must be the character's favorite, you know, the fan favorite. That's what the thought I had like seeing on Twitter like when the game first started to come out. So I had not high expectations, but I was like, okay, I want to see what all the hype is about. Yeah, she's neat. I think people like her for her actual story. I think more people were like, she's hot woman, but you know.
I think it's both.
I think
people
it's
like both.
a bit of both, but like. Yeah, no, I liked her. I liked her. So she was another person where I was like, I wanna do your social link as soon as I can because I like you that much. I want to see more of you.
But by far her most important thing is that she gives you the merchant archetype, which is the funniest thing Atlas has
Which
ever
is
made.
an archetype
because
I
it does,
did not use, but
it's almighty damage, but instead of using like magic or health, it uses money,
It
and
uses
that's
money.
really funny.
Capitalism, and also this money that's turned into a gun I found. Also,
It's the fucking Mayten equivalent of the of Dr. Faust from DMC5, and I love it for that.
yeah, yeah.
shout out. Also, shout out to the fact that you just get the equivalent of Divine Grace, but on items. So it's just
Yep.
like, fuck you. We've made enough money already. Might as well.
Yeah, I did not really use that archetype a lot. So.
Yeah, funniest synthesis in the game as well. Just run the roulette, and it costs like 777 leaves.
Yeah, low hit rate, but hits deal critical physical almighty damage.
I will gamble. Thank you very much.
All right, well, right on time, right as I would be preparing to leave, because I can only stay until midnight. We can talk about
Took about 20 more minutes.
exactly. Well, I'm saying right on time.
Ah.
We get to we get to the main character of the story.
Luis Guillabarn.
I thought I was gonna hate him. I respect the game. I don't hate him like I do Akechi and all that shit, like the villains. I thought I would hate him like that. I don't. I'm like, you know what? Hard ass. Listen, when he removed those horns, hard ass fucking shit, bro. I'm like, you know what, Luis? You're a top tier villain. I dislike
You
you.
okay, white boy?
You're okay, white boy. Like, I dislike you in terms of, you know, you're a bad guy, but like, I would say I like Luis. He is a good villain. I think he's a very good villain. His song is peak. He is a good villain. I also, for some reason, like, I think I told you, Note, I was like, before the scene of him removing the horns, I was in my mind thinking, what if those horns are fake? You know, not unrelated to, like, you know, before they get onto, like, you know, the whatever, I was like, what if those horns are fake? And they turn out to be.
In fairness, they look the fakest out of anyone.
His Jordans were never real, it turns out.
Vine Boom, Jordans are completely faked.
So yeah, Luis, I was saying this because I was talking about him briefly with Ren the other night. Is essentially like, what if one of the Persona games committed to like your rival character being the main villain, and it works so well.
It's so good. It is. He is a good villain. Like,
He goes so hard.
He's a good. Like, I'm shocked when I say he's a good villain. I like him. You know, of course, you know.
Okay, hold up. The fake horns are I just have his trivia pulled up. I'm obviously fandom wiki, so you know,
Yeah.
could be bullshit. Luis never openly refers to himself as a Clemar anywhere in the story. He only wears a pair of fake horns and expects people to believe it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I can believe that that's true.
I can believe that.
They see the heterochromic androgynous twink, and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna be racist towards this.
That's an elder, without a doubt.
He doesn't have horns on his head, so therefore I can be racist towards him. But the fact that Luis does have horns, therefore we gotta respect him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Luis going like, I'm just like you, you know? We just like
Yeah. He never once lies. He never once really like belittles the player. He's just like, strength is what matters. If you get in my way, I'm just going to fucking murder you.
Now, my biggest problem with Luis is that he's just Griffith from Berserk. There's really no getting around that. he is the same character, but that's not a terrible thing.
I don't know anything about Berserk, so Luis is his own man.
Yeah, it's lost on me. If I had played Shin Megami Tensei, he feels like a very logical endgame extreme for Law. Maybe
Yeah.
He
Okay.
has-
No. Yeah.
and like a-
Because he reminds
In a
me of
strength is power sense.
what's his name? What's her name from? Is her name Chiaki from Nocturne? That
Are
was
you talking about the girl that uses has like a caste system chaos is
Yeah.
what she wants?
like that was her reason, was strength above anything else. So like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Louise
Yeah,
could
it
also-
was essential. Her reason, we could 3-hour discussion. We could talk about reasons for 3 hours as well. Her reason was pretty much just like, I want to do. I want a world where the strong survive, but also no one can rise up against the strong. So the strong are on top, the weak are on bottom, but the weak cannot become the strong. And I don't really think that's necessarily what Luis is about. I think he is
Yeah,
more
no,
similar
I'm
to
not
like
saying
a
that's what
typical
his game is
chaos
about,
hero,
but,
with
like-
him just
Yeah.
wanting to destroy the world and say might makes right and all
Yeah, no,
that.
he is not.
Yeah.
He doesn't
All is
feel like
equal
the
under chaos.
Like that's
yeah,
why. Go on.
there's partial law coding, but he is also pretty chaos coded.
Right.
Just from like, Vine Boom, the real human was inside of Will all along, and also these 80 other people I killed by turning them into humans. It's funny that nobody was around to see that.
Yeah. Listen, well, like during his whole speech, I'm like, dude, like I was like, he's a good, like, I'm like, I get what you were saying. Like I get what your reason for what you do. I was like, I get it. That is an honorable reason. You just shouldn't go in that way. I think that's like, not to say those are the best type of villains, but it's like when you're like not just like a despicable human being, like just like off the bat, like I don't know, like but like when you say when you, like I like
human being, all things considered.
it's
I'd
like
say.
it's like I think your reasonings are what stuff we would want as like the protagonist, like our group, but like the way you're going about it is like, nah, dog.
Yeah, it's.
I find that admirable. So that's why I'm like, I don't
might
despise
makes
him.
right versus might makes right, and also we have the power of friendship.
Yeah, I mean, the reason
Um,
I say I sort of leaned towards Luis more so being a chaos guy is because he's very clearly based on Lucifer from mainline SMT.
Oh yeah, no, his
Yeah,
fucking
no.
his
He was
fucking
a
final
design.
his
Stuff.
fucking final thing. Can I don't fuck with really the first phase. That second phase though, that second phase boss, ooh, that design is that is peak, and this is why the
I
game's
like the design a
horror game.
lot more before he fuses with the Chidarias.
I
honestly.
like it second phase. Again, this game is a horror game.
It also, I'm also looking through the shit. That design was very blatantly based on Lucifer's design from the Divine Comedy, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, like this game's bosses are so not grotesque, but like they're not like a Persona boss, or they're hell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say they're like an SMT. Like this, they're like disgusting, but like in a good way.
They're kind of like Kamoshida, but with more body horror.
Nah.
Now,
Kamoshida's
you could see
goofy.
Kamoshida's shadow form could, like his shadow boss form, could be in a kid's cartoon.
Yeah, his shadow
Yeah.
thing is goofy. You're
Could
not
be-
like the human designs, like boss, like okay, what was that one? I think it's the egg one. Like that was the pre, like that was in the trailers. Was that boss like in the trailers or whatnot? I forget.
I don't know.
So-
I never
like-
really I never watched a single trailer for Metaphor. Actually, I went into this game like I tried to play a good few games blind this year, and this was one I relatively succeeded in.
I think I saw like the one of maybe the first like 2 trailers, and then after that I was like, no more. I know I'm buying this game, or whatnot. But like, no, oh my god, fucking Reddit. But like, no, I'm like, I think, I don't know. The designs in these games are like disgusting, but like in a cool way. Also, I found that on fucking scrolling on
That's real.
Google. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not shocking. If
I'll take it over conventionally attractive woman. Hear me out, you know.
yeah, or conventionally attractive phase 1 final boss form. Hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out, and it's just shirtless Louise with like some wings and shit.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think
Let me help
I
this-
enjoy Luis's character. He's not a complete tool and a dickhead that is like, you're annoyingly bad. No, I like, you're a bad character, but like, fuck, you're a
Yeah.
good one. You're a fucking good like character in terms of
Um,
your writing and shit, which I don't really care about, but like, you know. Either
If
way,
I
I like
can-
Luis. I think he's neat.
if I could hone in on one specific moment, the Opera House,
Ooh,
the
that's a
Opera
good
House
one.
Yes.
sequence
Yes,
is
yes.
the single best moment in any Atlas game that I've played.
At minimum, the
it-
single moment with a Atlas villain.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that is.
No, like, it is probably, it's definitely one, maybe two tiers above, the original, Shinjiro Death on October 4th and Fez, because in my opinion, Reload absolutely kind of butchered that cutscene by making it, rendered with the in-game models instead of just animation.
Yeah, I can see it. The P3 like animations had their not their charm, but like you like they're of
They
their
had good
time.
direction. They had bad animation.
Yeah, they're of their time.
Yeah,
you can
no.
tell.
Meanwhile, the reload
It
animations
loses-
have like more modern. Well, I can't say.
Yeah,
the
it loses the
animations
hazy
better.
direction to the point where I couldn't take the cutscene all too seriously.
Mhm.
And we might have to do this another time if we want to talk about the blatant lack of the Mage Academy dungeon, but that entire cutscene, like the only thing I dislike about it is I wish Juno was singing in Japanese so that I could pay more attention to the emotion that I was feeling. The fact that you nail Luis in the chest first try and he still fucking survives.
That's just so. That's why I was like, dude, Luis's goes. I think he's one of the like. Okay, because I listen. I'm not someone. Again, I'm not someone that likes to get critical and stuff, and analyze stuff. I think he may be like one of the best like Atlas villains. Because just thinking about how I feel. No,
Atlas villain.
that's just how I personally feel about like other. I'm like he's one of the villains in Atlas games that I'm like, I like you like it's hard to say, it's hard for me to explain, but it's like I think you are a good villain in terms of I don't disdain you because you're just fucking annoying. Like I do low-key feel like that for like Adachi. You're just annoying sometimes. Luis,
No, that's
Luis,
not
okay,
it,
Luis has
honestly.
that aura. Let me say that. Just Luis has aura, more aura than I feel like any other like at least Persona like villain feels for me. He has aura, like, it's hard for me to explain really, but like, I don't know. I enjoy Luis. That's all I can really say. I enjoy Luis. I think it's neat.
We love him, folks. Give me more Luis type characters in my Atlas game.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I guess it's a time to quiet it down, buddy. I think it's time for us to say our final. What are our final thoughts on Metaphor ReFantasio? Is it the greatest Atlas game?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
It's the best I've experienced, and I think it would take I will be annoyed when they release Metaphor ReFantasio 2. The additional character and Mage Academy dungeon that should have been in here in 2024.
I think
But
I think it's already leaked that they're working on an enhanced re-release.
It has been leaked, but this time it wasn't by an account pretending to be a girl.
That shit is not
so
coming to the PS4. That shit is a PS5, not exclusive, but next gen exclusive.
I hate
From
that
the
I'm-
PS6.
Yeah.
At least the PS5 might finally have a game.
It's okay. Can I just random thing speaking of PlayStation? It's a random thing. Why did the game so suddenly like during its transition start just slowly start lagging at the end of the game? Like the transition between like not menus, like areas, like Loki started to like lag a bit during the late game, like more than it did like in the early game. I know that it's just a random thought I had, but I just had that.
I don't know, maybe
like,
more shit was being loaded.
That's probably it. Or no, I think I said that to myself because I was like, I think it's my PlayStation because I've been playing this game for like.
Yeah, if you haven't turned the game off in a while, you got memory leakage as well, and also the fact that the sky is now blood red and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I just constantly had that problem because I played on PS4.
Ooh, wait, you had played on PS4?
Oof.
Yeah, no,
Like
I played the
entire
entire game
game?
on PS4. I don't have a PS5, and I didn't buy it for my. I didn't buy it on computer because I did the demo on PS4.
So I played a bit of the early game on PS4, and then I got a PS5 for Christmas, so I just transferred everything over because I bought it digitally.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with the PS4 version. Like I just, I got a new console and I want to continue playing this game. So.
And Trad, it was just like stuttered loading times and occasional minor dropped frames. It worked fine in combat and during cutscenes, and that's all I really cared about.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, there's a little stuttering while I ride the funny sword.
So listen,
Oh, wow.
dude. Okay, last thing. This is an absolute just me thing. I love the Grand Royal whatever it's called. I love that song.
Grand Trad wife.
Grand Trad, dude. I love that song so much. I don't know what it is. I love riding around on my sword with that with that song in the background. I love that. That is that has deadass been like one of the best feelings in a hub world in any game I've played. That is like just and just riding around on a sword with that song in the background fills me with joy every time I go to the capital. I can't explain why, it just does.
Top 10, it's not top 1 for me though.
I don't know. I adore doing that so much. But I guess I'll say, any final thoughts, chat, before we check, calling you, whatever. Any final thoughts about Metaphor ReFantazio you guys would like to speak upon?
You Face Luis Guillabarne is the best song in the game, and it's not particularly close.
Fair. No, you got anything?
I like that the entire cast can wear the SMT5 school outfit. I think that's really funny, even though half the characters look fucking terrible in it.
Listen. The two queens rock that, all right. They rock that.
I was mainly referring to like Basilio, like bro tight fit does not. Does not
I like
work
he
on
did, bro.
me,
He
dude.
does it for the SMT for the Persona 1 outfits. He just has bro is showing those abs. All right.
Yeah, I like it when he has the shirt on, but
Pipe down, buddy. Anyways, chat, thank you for joining us as we rant about we discuss the Metaphor ReFantazio. I know immediately as soon as I ended, I'm like, damn, I wish we talked about this, but I enjoyed this. I enjoyed being this. I enjoyed actually like talking about a game in depth with people that have played this game. Because I think you two are like the only people in my life that I know that have finished this game. So I thank you guys both for joining me on this 2-hour journey